What is up, everyone? Happy New Year and welcome to the first episode of SlabStox Sundays in 2023. Nate, how excited are you to be here today?
I am pumped. Starting off 2023 first day with a good Sunday live stream. I'll take it.
Also, not only a good Sunday live stream, but
A big old, big Packers win. Oh, you love to see a Packers win, but you really love to see it when it comes at the expense of the Vikings and you embarrass them.
man, I've been talking some smack to my Vikings friends leading up to this weekend, saying they were really excited about the season, just winning all these close games. I'm like, guys, you're not that good. Like, just take a step back for a second. I knew when the Packers weren't good and we were winning games. Felt the same way. Feel like we showed their real quality today, which is not good.
So it was a 24-point difference, right?
Yeah, but
41-17.
it was worse than that for most of the game.
Which means the Packers now move up to +3 in point differential, and the Vikings move down to -19.
Yep. Complete flip, which is crazy. We're one game away from making the playoffs. I swear a lot of you have been here the entire year. I see a lot of you here right now. Kevin, Real Music, Tim, Jordan, Silky Matt, Patrick, DJ Quicksilver, and Joel. Thank you for all coming. But many of you have probably heard us for at least the first half of the season in 2022. Just every week coming out here like Nate 1-10. He's like not even a 1. It was brutal, man. It was not good. I do feel like that there was like a big shift from like honestly. I watched a video of Rodgers answering some questions after the game. I feel like his mentality switching. I feel like he kind of got humbled a little bit, like starting the season pretty poorly, not playing up to his standards. I think it really helped in the locker room and maybe brought out some like leadership qualities that I didn't even know he had, honestly. I know he's more of a private leader anyways. But man, if he somehow gets us to the Super Bowl or something like that, I will not say one bad thing ever again about him.
Hey, Justin Jefferson just had 15 yards on one catch, 5 targets in a full game. It was his lowest numbers of the season for catches and targets, and I think it was the lowest number of catches he's had in his career in a game. If our defense plays like that,
we can hang with anyone. There's no question we can hang with anyone. Now, will we do it? That's the question. I hope so. I hate this. I get way too much hope, man. I get way too much hope.
But hey, look, what I'm going to take away from this, 14 of those points were from our defense and our special teams. You can't rely on that all the time. But what I will take away from this is that we had Jaire Alexander shut down the best wide receiver in the NFL. If you can do that, you can shut down every other wide receiver in the NFL, and that takes away a huge weapon from every single offense we're going against.
There's no doubt about that. No doubt about it. I'm excited to see what happens the rest of the season. I hope everyone else is too. But to start today's first topic of discussion here, we are on weekly Sunday auction number 50. So we're 2 away from 1 year. The weekly auctions on PWCC started around, it was like, mid-January 2022. And here we are on number 50. We've got some items up for sale this week, not these massive autographs, but we have a lot of the, I would say, $25 to $100 raw cards actually selling. And I bought a bunch of these, almost all of them actually, at the Toronto show when I was there. The Sports Card Expo, it was sick. And we've got this messy gold right here at like $100 for a 2021 gold. I think one of these sold for like 70 on eBay like a couple of weeks ago or something like that. So that's a nice price right now, 96 on there. The Weah got that for like $20 or $15 USD. I think it's at 76. Iniesta at 36, got that for a few dollars. The Merlin Musiala probably for like 20. But a lot of this raw stuff is doing really well right now. Can you believe, Nate, a Lukaku 2018 card is at $22 right now?
I cannot.
How awesome is that? How about your guy, Sidney Rabiger right here at 22 for finest Bundesliga gold rookie 50? I don't know. It seems like there's some really strong prices right here on these different colors. Mahrez, he had a great game on Saturday, and Sargent, Green Wave and stuff. But nice to see some of those cards doing well. So if anyone want to grab some raw soccer cards, feel free to drop some bids. Otherwise, feel free to also share in the chat if you all have anything selling on the first of the year. Would love to pull up some cards you all have going, as extended bidding does start in 9 minutes. So maybe we can alert a few people here of some cards you have ending. Anything else to add, Nate, before I jump into some little discussion where I have about 2023 outlook on? I favored 24 different items ending tonight. And we're going to talk about what our thoughts are on the outlook of either like the player that's on the card or maybe an aspect of the card. I'll prompt a lot of these questions and you can go from there. Anything else to add?
Well, I have one thing to add. Number one, Chris brings up Packers have no answer for the Niners. Yeah, I'm a little worried about having to play the Niners in the first round if we end up beating the Lions and the Niners win next week. But did you bid on a Wander Franco Bowman Chrome Mojo variation out of 25?
So it's not out of 25, right? I thought only the autos were.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
So that's why I didn't
You're
bid
right.
on it, because it's not serial numbered. I was a little concerned about that.
That's fair. Still sick card.
But I don't know if you looked at next week's auction yet. I hate to bring it up right now, but do you see what's going next week? Bro, clear rookie out of 10.
I need it.
I know. We're going to watch it next week. Next week's live is going to be interesting to see what that price is at on there. All right. As for this week's episode, we're just going to talk about some different cards and the outlook for 2023. And feel free to add into all the different discussion tonight as well as we're talking about these cards. Give your takes on if you think the card's going to be hot, not the player. I'll prompt questions. You feel free to leave answers. But before I do that, I did ask people if they have anything selling. I got to say, I was looking at some of the Luka cards tonight because the guy's unbelievable in the last 5 games. What is it? 50 points in 3 of the games. And then one of them was the massive 60-point performance. It's just insane. Cannot believe what the guy's doing. But it looks like that Damon here has got the 1 of 1. I'm assuming it's this one because it's 2020. The Asia Black Prism from Spectra. Honestly, perfect time to sell this card. You know, it's a 30-year card out of Spectra T-Mall product, which I'd say isn't maybe one that would be, you know, too sought after in the grand scheme of things. However, I gotta say, $1,000 is $1,000. That's pretty good. So, Damon, I wish you luck on that card tonight, and you might get a big price there. I hope.
Let's hope so.
For sure, that's the one. There you go. Everyone who's interested in some Luka, if you like the black 1 of 1s, that is a card to look at tonight. So, we are going to start actually Luka himself. Nate, I feel like 2022 was the year that Luka still did his thing, but because the prices were so expensive, it was just due for a correction, a drop, and we saw it. You know, there's a lot of Luka Doncic cards that were like $50,000 that go down to like $20,000. Ones that were like $2,000 down to $700. Do you think 2023 is actually a time where we could physically look at sales at the, you know, towards the end of 2022? We look 6 months later, once the season's done or going to next season when he's probably going to be the favorite for MVP again if he wins it this year. Do you think that there's actually going to be some growth in his market this year now that we've seen a more realistic dropping point? You know, this card right here is the 2018 Prism Blue out of 199. This thing is around like $11,000 before his big performances. And I think earlier in this year, this card was $30,000. So quite a big drop. Let me hear your thoughts. And everyone's thoughts here too in the chat.
Stats are nice, but I think everyone expects Luka to put up stats, right?
Mm-hmm.
This recent stat trend is amazing. Don't get me wrong, it's amazing. But Luka's one of those guys that you just kind of, you know, you're never shocked by anything he does. I think at this point he has to do one of 2 things. He has to win an MVP or he has to win a championship. Anything else, and I don't think his cards will move. And that's just me. I could be wrong. You know, he could put up amazing stats and not win an MVP, not win a championship, and cards could still move, I guess. But if it were me, he doesn't have anything else to prove for me statistically. Like, we've already seen what he can do. It doesn't get more impressive than what he's already done.
Yeah.
And so he's got to at least achieve one of those 2 things this year, I think, and or next year for these card prices to get any higher.
I think what you're trying to say too is that the Mavericks got to put something better around him. Man, that team is garbage around him. Like Finney Smith, was it Reggie Bullock? Like, I know Christian Woods had some nice games, but like that's no championship winning roster at all. Even with as good as Luka is. Now, I do have to say that winning an MVP in this type of competition would be pretty impressive, to be honest. Like, Jokic is playing amazing. Giannis has had massive games and is having a big season overall. He needs his teammates healthy. And then Tatum and Embiid and even Zion's playing like out of this world right now. Like, there's heavy competition for MVP. This is not going to be a easy decision, I think, come the end of the year. So if he can come out of it on top, I think it would mean a lot. Now, who knows where they are in the standings and stuff like that. Bazooka Tom says, I don't think the market is done settling for Luka. And Chris says it's Luka or bust on that team. Reminds me of Will Smith on the Fresh Prince. Pass it to Will. Yeah, I mean Luka's usage rate. I haven't seen the actual number, but it's got to be insane. It's got to be like one of the highest in the NBA. And then Gile or Gia, sorry, is talking about Nikola Jovic. You see that there's like a Nikola Jovic, and then Nikola Jokic, obviously. Jovic was said to be looking forward to his first matchup with Jokic, and then I think he plays on the Bulls or the Magic. Maybe it's the Magic. They sent him down the day before to the G League that he's going to get the matchup with Jokic. So
Tough.
that is a tough look. Chris says people were priced out on Luka back during the bubble. No one will ever take that risk again because his price will never reach that height again. So it is true. It'd be interesting to see how much risk people are willing to stomach if they, let's say, did lose money on Luka. Are they willing to buy in again? Which is, I think, a big issue, honestly. A lot more people are willing to buy in on Shea, with them either making some money on Shea or never losing money on Shea, than already like losing on a player like Luka.
It's like the inverse of what I do, where if I make money on a player, I don't buy back into that player.
Yeah. If you lose money on player, you're more worried to buy back into the player too.
Yeah.
Next one up here is Justin Fields. So Justin Fields, I think first half of the season, there's a lot of talk about like, hey, this is not the guy for the Bears. Yada, yada, yada. He's honestly been extremely impressive in different moments this year. Today, the passing stats were atrocious. Kind of reverted back to the passing stats in the beginning of the year. We did have 105 rushing yards in the first quarter of today's game, which is the most rushing yards in a quarter by a quarterback, I think, since like 1980 or something like that, which I'm surprised that there's actually been more at one point than that. That's insane. Nate, do you think that Fields is the guy for the Bears going forward? And will they be able to put enough pieces around him by next season for him to be like a big success, let's say, buying in the offseason this 2023, come the end of this year?
Well, they grabbed Chase Claypool, right?
That's a big piece.
And they traded away, was it Roquan Smith?
Yes, they did.
And they got, a fourth for him. They will have the second pick. There's no way they're drafting a QB, right?
So they automatically get like one of the best players in the entire draft by doing that too. Do you think they're going to take the edge rusher from Alabama? I forgot his name.
Well, what I imagine if I were in the Bears' shoes, what I would do is, who cares about one guy? Take that pick. There's going to be teams that are trading up for the second best QB in the draft. You have a pick that you don't need a QB. They're going to be targeting you. They're going to want your pick, and then you trade it away for maybe an extra first next year and a second, or an extra first. What if the Seahawks want to move up and they give you the fourth pick or the fifth pick and the 14th pick or whatever they might have, plus a second next year to move up 2 spots?
That'd be a big trade. I think the Bears would be happy to do that.
Yeah. So, I think they should be open to moving it. I do think you have to give Justin Fields more weapons to see what he can do. They just don't have enough weapons, and the weapons they had have been injured. So you get him some talent to see what he can throw to, and if he can't make strides in the next year or two, then But the rushing is always going to be there, and that's always a nice floor for him to have.
So we kind of have two contrasting takes right here. So Chris says Fields missing the trailing wide open receiver in the first quarter on third down and trying to run the ball to the left is an example of why he will never be great. Maybe looks for the run before the pass. And then Carlo says, yes, Fields still has room to grow with an average line and average skill players. And that's kind of like what I'm thinking too. Like, yeah, the Bears have been terrible this year, but he's had success in the season where a lot of quarterbacks, to be completely honest, they would just completely fail. Like there would not be much excitement about a player, let's say.
And I get what Chris is saying, but I will counter it by saying this. I think a lot of his looking to run first has to do with the fact he wasn't a run first quarterback. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't a run first quarterback at Ohio State. He's just a quarterback that can run. And I'm pretty sure a lot of it has to do with the fact that he doesn't have any wide receivers, so he doesn't trust them, so he's looking to run and move as opposed to throw. You get him some good wide receivers, I think he will revert back. I could be wrong.
So Fields in college, his last season, he had 81 rushing attempts for 383 yards and 5 touchdowns, which is nice numbers, but that doesn't feel like what he's doing now, which is like running first all the time.
Yeah.
All right. Any more takes here? Magic says Ohio State quarterback curse. It is a real thing, but I gotta say he is on a better path than what a lot of the Ohio State QBs have done so far. Down to on the farm says Jackson Cherry is too cheap for being a top 10 prospect in baseball. Nate, I was going to talk to you actually with the New Year here. You might have to look at some Rod Churio autos, honestly.
I am curious. I think there is probably some concern there about hit
Uh-oh.
tool amongst people, or maybe it's keeping the prices low because like
Material?
he was really good in A ball. Don't get me wrong, and he was good in high A, but worse. And then he was meh in double A, and the hit tool was a question all the way through. I believe in it, but I can see where people are like, we really haven't seen enough. He was impressive, but have we seen enough where we're willing to risk this much money? I can kind of understand it.
Let's say that it gets to a point where it's, you know, 250, $300 for base auto. I know that's probably still $100 lower than it is right now. Worth it?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean,
I don't know.
the insane talent everywhere else is still there. It's just the hit tool.
I was gonna say
And
250, or 270 was the last sale of a base auto, actually.
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people jumping in saying, "What's up? Happy New Year." Tex says that, and so does Magic. Happy New Year, everyone. If you're just joining, thanks for being here on the first SlabStox Sundays of the year, powered by PWCC Marketplace right here on weekly auction number 50. I'm going to take this next one myself. Nick can add a few words if he wants to. And people in the chat, feel free to comment. Will Mbappe have a big success in 2023 in the card market? Honestly, I see Mbappe kind of similar to Luca. Except he has won stuff in his career. He won the World Cup. He's obviously made a finals for the second time now. So different in that regard. But I'm talking about from like the card market aspect. Like his cards got super expensive and people are spending a lot of money on soccer cards. Holland's cards were lower for a while because he's playing Bundesliga. And now they've gotten either at the prices of Mbappe or more. But I do feel like there's quite a drop off in Mbappe prices, which I do think has provided a decent opportunity for some different cards. Now, this card right here is the Super Fractor Finest Prize Footballers PSA 9. This is the first Prize Footballer set that they rolled out for Finest. And honestly, this card is freaking amazing. It actually sold earlier this year on June 25th for $8,400. So it is quite a bit lower than what it sold for earlier in the year. It's not really a surprise just from the way that some of the market has trended. But I'm just going to say that if Mbappe can win the Champions League with Messi and Neymar this year and bring the first Champions League to PSG, I see his market definitely taking a tick up. I mean, to do that would be extremely impressive. And Man City has never won a Champions League either. They've had amazing teams. So if he can do that and get all the way there and make the World Cup final again this year, like he already did, I do see success in the future for his market for sure. I mean, he's like the best. Like Messi's the best in the world, honestly, but like Mbappe is also the best in the world. They're both just right there together on the same team. It's crazy. Kevin says, I love this set, man. So do I. And then Chris says that Churros Boom Chrome Autos will be $200 below at the Chicago Sports Spectacular. Interesting. Is that a prediction or is that because you're going to put them out there for under $200? Quick thoughts, Nate, from you on this. We have to spend a lot of time on it. But Josh Giddey, honestly, I've barely heard about this guy this year. Shea's the talk of the town with OKC. Obviously, they've got Czech winning back next year. Is he the type of guy where you look at, like, and you say, Desmond Bain, amazing player, but is he ever going to reach the insanely high market potential that kind of the prices have been being paid for earlier in his career? Because, you got Ja being the face of the team.
Yeah. Honestly, with what Shea's done this year, he's cemented himself as a top 15 player in the league, at least in my mind, especially in the clutch. How many game-winning shots in the last seconds does he have this year? 3?
Quite
4?
a few. It's not a bad team, too.
Yeah. And so, like, it's Shea's team, and that's unfortunate for Giddey. And he also has Chet Holmgren when he's healthy to contend with and stuff. I will say this. Just taking a quick glance at Giddey's stats, he's averaging more points than last year. He's averaging more rebounds than last year. He's averaging one less assist than last year, which is unfortunate. But his free throw percentage has gone up 60 points to 77% as opposed to 70%, or 71% rounding up. His 2-point percentage has gone up. His 3-point percentage has gone up drastically. And his overall field goal percentage, obviously, if the other two have gone up, has gone up. So, like, for me, maybe not quite where you hope he would be, especially with Chet not being there, but there is growth all across the board. And that's all you can hope for, really, second-year guy. Do those stats make him worth $3,800? No, but you're talking about a dude who's a 6'8" shooting guard, and he's going to be next to a 6'5" or 6'6" point guard for his foreseeable future, like that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of what that Thunder team has done and what they're doing. I hope that they actually have great team success in the future and maybe win a championship too. That'd be pretty cool.
I
All
agree.
right, moving on to Ronaldo. For anyone that doesn't know, it is officially confirmed that Ronaldo is going to go play in the Saudi Arabian League with Al Nassr, which to me is absolutely wild. I think a lot of people are calling this a legacy breaker or legacy, hurts his legacy for Ronaldo. He had an interview in 2015, Nate, where he said, I want to finish my career on top playing a big club in a big league. I don't want to go play in the MLS. I want to go play in Qatar. He didn't say Saudi Arabia like by the word, but that kind of is lumped in the same category as everyone understands. And here he is going for like anywhere between 75 to $200 million in a single season to go play in a league that no one really cares about from a big club football perspective. And I think that we've already seen the effects already in his card market. I mean, this is a card right here, a super good card. This is an Immortal Ink from 2020, impeccable on card, numbered out 5. There's not many super nice on card autos of his that have released in Manchester United. There's a few different ones from impeccable, and this thing was like 14 grand, Nate, earlier this year, and even as soon as like I think the summer, before kind of all this new season blow up started to happen. Now I don't know, maybe this thing does get up to like 8-9 grand tonight. I can't say for sure, but honestly, I feel it's going to end pretty low. I think that his market's going to continue to drop through this year. Now, I think that could provide an interesting opportunity if his cards get cheap enough, especially on card autos. So something to watch out for, but I feel it's going to be more losses for Ronaldo cards in 2023 as he falls out of the spotlight. People question his legacy, question his interviews, how his career really went down. Hard to see for fans, I'm sure, especially of Ronaldo.
Imagine being a Ronaldo fan, a diehard Ronaldo fan that is like Ronaldo all day, Messi stinks, yada yada yada. You know the type. Imagine having this last month to contend with.
Man, this is if you're a Ronaldo fan, like a really big true Ronaldo fan, really dislike Messi and Messi fans, this is probably the worst month of your sports life, honestly. To be like for him to go from the Premier League to being kicked off United, the team that he like blew up with, and then he goes to the Saudi Arabian League, loses in the World Cup, barely plays. It's just so brutal.
You know what? I gotta say, the way this has gone, this makes me happy that I didn't buy that 2016 Select Box when it was 50% chance at getting his auto or getting the crap box I got. Thrilled that I didn't get it.
Yeah, you wouldn't have like minded that $1,000 at the time or anything like that, right? Michael says Ronaldo market has dropped considerably in the past 3 months, seeing a lot more non-payers on his stuff. That obviously also points to lack of confidence too. Silky Mint asks, Aaron, I've always wondered what's the shoe in your background. So right above my shoulder there is a Jordan shoe. That is actually a Frank Kaminsky game-worn shoe from the NBA. It's signed on the toe. That was a wonderful gift. Thanks to Jimmy from Kentucky Basketball Cards. Visited a shop a year ago now already. It's crazy, Nate. It's been a year since we were in Kentucky. And he gifted me a pair of game-worn shoes from Frank Kaminsky, obviously Wisconsin Badger legend. And Chris says, don't sleep on Ronaldo. He'll redeem himself when the next World Cup rolls in. He will be a great ambassador for Al Nassr come the next World Cup. Not playing and just making $75 million for doing nothing other than posting on Instagram.
Hey, real quick to answer Magic's question, just real briefly. We won't get too deep into Trevor Bauer. A lot of people didn't like him before allegations, and now even more people don't like him since the allegations that he suffered because of his own actions. So I would say if you're going to buy a player, it's kind of a popularity contest, and Trevor Bauer has no popularity whatsoever.
Yeah, regardless of what the situation is, his popularity is very low. I agree with Nate to begin with. All right, this one we're going to do in a bundle here, Nate. I look at Zion and Ja like this. We've got super sick Zion notable nicknames right here. We've got really nice Ja. This is a logo tag, out of 5 from Noir RPA. I look at these two players as like Soto and Acuna. It's like there's barely been a time where one's been going off and the other has been like also going off at the same time, where both their cards are increasing at fast rates in the market. I always feel like that one's doing well and one isn't. And it's kind of been that way with Soto and Acuna their entire career. People are always debating, oh, should we be buying Soto? Should we be buying Acuna? Should we be buying Zion? Should we be buying Ja? Do you think one of these two come out on top as the clear? Because I don't think it's clear. A lot of people thought it was clear when Zion wasn't playing. And now Zion's playing again, and he looks like a top 10 player in the NBA when he's healthy.
I'm not going to be I'm not going to be bold enough to take a whack at that one. I will say I enjoy watching both of them play basketball. But if I were a person buying this, there's no chance I'm buying a 2021 NT Zion Auto out of 25 as opposed to the out of 5 rookie Noir laundry tag patch auto.
I gotta agree with you. The Noir looks amazing. However, I gotta say, signing a card Xanos is sick. Like Thanos, that's pretty dope.
Fair.
It's a fun card. We are definitely going pretty long in some of these, so I'm just gonna hop and bring up a couple different ones here.
Dude,
Nate,
hey, real quick, did you look at prices on this specifically?
No.
Like prices back from 2013?
No, what was it, like $50?
Yeah, dude. Maybe even less.
That's insane. So this is a Paul Goldschmidt Hope Diamond anniversary here. I barely see Hope Diamond anniversary cards pop up of like good players. Like what? Maybe once a year or something like that. Maybe I don't know. Maybe less for some players.
If even, yeah.
Yeah, this is like it's a crazy, crazy card. Paul Goldschmidt, he had his career year when he was what, like 35 years old.
Yeah.
Do you see a drop off coming? Do you see the power keeping up, the numbers keeping up as a hitter?
I mean, every once in a while we get these guys that just doesn't stop hitting, right? Did anybody see Nelson Cruz hitting the way he did?
Yeah, he's like 41 or something.
Did you look at not this past year? He was bad, but leading up into his 40s, right? Nelson Cruz was still an absolute animal, and like nobody would have said at 29, yeah, Nelson Cruz looks like a guy that's going to be hitting well after guys like, name a dude that's really good that retired in his mid to late 30s. Like Nelson Cruz was still playing. So like I wouldn't be shocked if he's the type of guy that just keeps putting up stats like this, puts it up at 34, puts it up at 35, puts it up at 36, What is interesting to me is when I say Paul Goldschmidt, do you think Hall of Fame or no?
It's tough because I don't know the stats like the back of my hand, but I would say I always was so intimidated by this guy every single year he played at baseball, honestly. So I'd say yes from that alone. But
well, okay, let's put it this way: he got called up age 23, 48 game cup of tea, and then 24 he was full time. Kind of a late start for a first base only type of guy, but he is now wins above replacement has its detractors, but he is only 1.5 win above replacement away from crossing the artificial 60 win above replacement threshold that you need to get into the Hall of Fame.
I didn't know he's never hit above 40 homers in a year. That's a stat I never knew. I feel like he just would have hit 40 or more in a year before.
Yeah, he only has 315 home runs.
Like that's way less than I guess I was expecting. But what do you say? Yes or no? Hall of Fame? Yes or no?
I mean, if he does this season again, he's got the MVP under his belt. He'll get to 2,000 hits, which is important. He might even get to 400 home runs, which is important. If he gets 2,000 hits, 400 home runs, 60 plus wins above replacement, and has an MVP, yeah, I think he'll be a Hall of Famer.
Got you. Good answer. One more baseball for you. Before that, though, do you see that the Jacob Eason logo shield patch auto is ending tonight? Like the insert?
Well, he didn't have the greatest game.
No. Wait, did he play?
Didn't he play? Pretty sure he played. I think he came in at least.
Or who? No, he didn't play. Last time he played was against the Rams on October 16th.
Really? I swear I saw Jacob Eason's name on the...
He's on the 49ers.
Oh, wait. Who's the Colts backup again?
You're thinking Sam Ellinger right now.
Oh, Sam Ellinger.
He did play. He played pretty well. I don't even know why he hasn't been starting. I think they're actually just trying to tank so badly, the Colts right now. But yeah, I was just laughing. We pulled a million Jacob Eason cards in the day. I want to ask you about Alvarez really quick. Francisco Alvarez, for all the baseball fans out there, he's the number one prospect in baseball still, I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay, my question here is, we saw Adley Rutschman become a top 2 or 1 prospect in baseball, whatever it was. Do you think the catchers can succeed in the baseball market? Do you think that it's sell when you can when they're a number 1 prospect and have that tag because it's so important?
I think so. I mean, look at Adley's market. He was amazing last year. His card prices are dirt cheap for production he put up. And honestly, I think Adley, I am not joking. I think Adley might be like, if he puts up offensive and defensive numbers like that through a full year, I think he might be the most valuable player in baseball. And he's
a stud on defense, isn't he?
What?
Is he like best catcher in baseball on defense at his best?
I mean,
Like
that's
defensively wise.
yeah, he's really good. There's
Yeah.
obviously a lot of JT Realmuto. Until somebody knocks him off the crown, I'm going to say he's the best catcher and best defensive catcher and all yada yada yada. But you look at what happened to Adley, and obviously some of that has to do with it being the Orioles. But for me, I wouldn't want to hold on to a catcher past prospect status.
Right. I agree with you. I gotta bring up this Kevin Love. Honestly, like not much to talk about in terms of like winner or loser in 2023. Aside from the fact that this card is awesome, this is like the exquisite RPA for Love. It's numbered out 42, the jersey number. It's like the parallel, the gold parallel, and it's a PSA 10 pop one. Got to be one of the better Kevin Love cards. Definitely available in the market today. Very interesting player. I was just talking about my roommate the other week. Like, man, I remember going to Wolves games. This guy was a 25-10 machine for the Wolves at 25-10. Brought him to just about to the playoffs one of the years by himself. Then he goes to the Cavs and it's like a completely different player.
Well, good stats, bad team guy.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, he won a championship. He made some.
No. I mean, when he was with the, you're saying he's a different player with the Cavs. Well, that's because he had to change up because all those stats he was getting was good stats, bad team.
Yeah, high usage, always has the ball. If Kyrie and LeBron have the ball. I agree. I mean, that's the thing, though. I want to point out, too. I love players and NBA players that can, like, reformat their game to what they need to do to succeed at whatever level they're playing at. I think that's a really good sign of a good NBA player, which is why I put Kevin Love in that class. Chris Bosh, Brooke Lopez, a lot of players like that can reinvent, or not a lot, is what I meant to say, can do that. So I think it really points to some really good ones. All right, last one to talk about here before I think we jump into the my bid section. There's a couple of different phone ones down here, like some non-sport Hermione SGC 10 right there, sticker, Fortnite, Peely Hollow, PSA 9. Interesting to see. I was curious, what might happen with non-sports in 2023. Say that for another day discussion. Jared Goff, really quick, man. I don't know if you've seen 9 straight games, I think, without an interception. Longest streak in the NFL right now, like 300 pass attempts. We kind of have talked a lot about it, at least throughout the different weeks, like, hey, he's not the solution for long term, which is true. I think everyone agree with that. Do you think he kind of has a role there for a while, though, if he keeps this up? He's doing well.
This Lions team was 1-6, and now they're 8-8. And he's been playing well. Like, I think it's gotten to the point where you definitely don't draft a replacement. And you probably see what he can do next year when you don't have a 1-6 start under your belt.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to say the least. But another reason why I thought about this is because there was a draft picks camo auto. I know, not like a crazy card. Is at the same price as the Carson Wentz auto. Goff's made a Super Bowl. Goff is playing way better than Carson Wentz can even dream of playing right now. I think his market just has to be more.
I can't. Did you see?
He had 2 interceptions in the first quarter.
Did you see Ron Rivera's interview after the game?
Yeah, he didn't know that the Commanders could be eliminated today. And then guess what? They're eliminated with the Packers win and the Lions winning and the Seahawks winning.
Yeah. And you put in Carson Wentz, who predictably throws 3 picks.
I can't, dude, when they pulled Taylor Heineke last game, he was like 12 for 18 and like 150 yards and a touchdown and a half. He didn't even throw a pick. Like, I don't understand, dude. If I was Heineke, I'd be livid. They had a good chance with him.
Yeah.
At least a decent chance. So not a no chance with Wentz. This is a super hot take from Chris. Kevin Love equals Luka Doncic. Put Luka on another team with a superstar and he becomes the fries as someone else's burger. Unless you're talking about like a prime LeBron, I don't know if that would be.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'd like to know which superstar you're talking about, because I think I could name off the top of my head one single superstar right now where he would not be the front man, and that's Giannis.
I always thought, like, hey, put them on the same team would be interesting because Giannis is like, with the ball, he creates so much, driving kicks, openings, own points, whatever it might be. I always thought it'd be really interesting to see the two of them play together because they are both pretty high usage ball in the hands players.
It will never happen. But I mean, if you go through a list of superstars, like which superstar is a big enough name where they can displace Luka as the main guy?
I'm curious as well. Chris, we would love to hear that take. Garrett, I saw this question earlier. Sorry for not answering it right away. I appreciate you for bringing this up. So on certain cards, if they're 1986 or prior, that includes obviously the Fleer Jordan and before, PWC CSSs every single card from 1986 or before when it gets received in the vault to see if the quality of the card, eye appeal, the condition of it, kind of how it displays, the centering, yada yada yada. If it deserves the eye appeal sticker, 3 different types of stickers. I think it goes between top 5%, top 15%, I think top 30%. They assign those stickers, and then based on that, obviously buyers can take them into consideration when they're buying the card, because for vintage cards, not every grade is the same in any capacity. I mean, we've seen 6s that just look beautiful, see 6s that look really odd when the centering's way off, and people all buy vintage differently. For me, I'd rather have great centering and maybe not as great corners, or the back doesn't matter as much to me, and that's where the eye appeal stickers really come into play.
Can we take a moment to think about how fun Luka would be with Jokic?
That would be a wild team. Is that so? Chris says that he'd be the fries to Curry, Booker, Durant, and Jokic. That is so steamy hot. I don't even know what to say.
I mean, to be fair, Curry and Durant have the. I'll give them Curry and Durant because they have both the wins and the legacy where, like, you go on their team, it's their team, right? Anthony Davis on the Lakers, it's LeBron's team until LeBron retires because of legacy. And I'll even give you Jokic because 2-time MVP, and that would be really fun. But there's no chance that he goes to the Suns and Booker is the lead guy anymore.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking mostly. Also, so I am jumping into my bid section right now. There's 102 different items we've got qualifying bids in for tonight. Also,
buy that Michael Pittman, get him traded away from the Colts, or get him a good QB, maybe a good buy.
Well, see, I actually was thinking about it when I was like 160 earlier and I placed a bid, but then it went up to just about the last sale of it. And
wait, is that Deebo Samuel cheaper?
It's more expensive. I went back a page. It's at 550.
I was like, what?
So really quick, I want to point out. Jarrett Stidham had an awesome game today. He played super well. I still think that the 4 times of his market in the last month or 2 weeks actually, or even week, is kind of crazy, given that the season's going to end pretty soon. But I got to point out this, Nate. Look at this. I put this bid in, I think, at 3 o'clock today. Excuse me, for $27. Wow. It's a 300. It's a 300 now within the last 4 hours. That card raw was insane. That card raw was $85 a week ago. 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, 350 yards or something like that. Gotta give a shout out to Pele, the soccer king, the legend. RIP, 82 years old, battle of cancer. Just crazy impact on the world, honestly. What a figure he was. And impact on the game of soccer as well. So RIP to him. But there's a really cool out of 10 series, Donruss Series Blue ending tonight. Yo, so I don't know how much you know about tennis, Nate. It's a chance you know nothing other than Federer and
I mean, I know Pete Sampras, if you're asking.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Okay.
Was I born in a barn?
I don't know.
I've spent the last 20 years of my life watching ESPN.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, but I mean, knew nothing about soccer. Along with me, I didn't know anything either.
Yeah, so. but also in the last 20 years, how often did ESPN cover soccer?
Exactly. That's why we knew nothing, because they weren't covering it.
Yeah.
All right, but my point here is that I'm really sold on getting this. I was doing some research. This is the Raw 2003 dual authentic memorabilia relic auto. He's pretty much one of the GOATs prior to the 3 big guys that popped up after him. But number out of 100, it's sold for I think $400 raw earlier in the year, something around that. I really want to get and grade it. I'm not saying tennis is going to explode in 2023. I don't make predictions like that. But all I know is that Topps, I still think, is on par or on schedule to release the first Topps Chrome tennis set in 2023. I don't know if that's fact. I heard stuff about it. And I do think that at least bring more attention to the market than what's ever been there before, because that's the first big wider release in 20 years of a tennis product. So I think it would at least make people.
Which one do you want? That one or the already graded one?
So this one's PSA 8, non-relic of 500. I definitely want the more rare one. I looked at the condition report. It's got 1 yellow mark on the back corner. I definitely think this can, snag somewhere above an 8 or above.
Definitely, let's do it.
I'm super into it. As a lot of you all know, we like to find some unique things, and this is one of them. I'm actually super thrilled that popped up, so we'll see if we can get that.
Prolo says I need Andre Agassi hair, but at this point, I'll take any hair.
Even the Kevin Durant hair. Have you seen that picture?
Okay, I won't take Kevin Durant or LeBron.
Oh man,
And I don't want to look like a lollipop, so I'm not taking Trae Young either.
Oh my god. Oh man. Well, you might as well just keep the hair you got now because I don't unless you want the big frizzy hair. You can,
And also not what's his name? The white dude he used to play on the Caruso.
Oh,
Alex Caruso.
yikes. Well, I think you're already on the track for that right now. Are you not?
Oh, I am on the track for that. Yeah, me and him.
So that's why it's short. That's why it's short then because you don't want that.
Yeah.
There is a sick Billy Gilmore. It's the 2020 Optic.
Dude, I saw
rookie.
that. That's so cheap.
So here's the deal.
Is there no hope for him?
No, well, it just depends. I mean, he started for Brighton last game against Arsenal.
Dude, we're talking about an Optic Gold. That's under $100.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely dropping a bid. I'm just really salty. We sold him for $8 million. We sold him for $8 million, bro. That's dirt. He was an academy player that got into the senior team at like 18 years old, and we sold him because Tuchel didn't like him. It's ridiculous. It's dumb. But yeah, I would like to get that card. Teddy B, I think he got benched today for.
I think he got injured.
He got injured again.
He got injured. Yeah.
Oh man.
I was watching the end of that game. I didn't see the injury, but they put in the third string and they kept showing him on the sideline tossing a football back and forth. So I assume injury.
Chris, remember the name Trinity Rodman plays for USA? I mentioned this 5 months ago. Yes, Chris, I've actually remembered the name ever since then. I've looked at plenty of different Trinity Rodman cards. Some ended here, I think, last week actually. I don't know if there's been a big issue released yet from like a Topps or like a Panini or something like that. It's kind of waiting to see if any of those things would drop. But yeah, it sounds like she's the next big thing. Also, it's either the daughter or the niece of Dennis Rodman, correct? I don't know which one.
It is the daughter.
The daughter, okay. Jordan says, Aaron, do you hear about the new Netflix tennis docu-series coming soon, made by the same people as Drive to Survive? Yes, I did, Jordan. I'm extremely excited about that. Kyrgios is actually the first episode, which will be wild. I'm sure it'll be a wild episode. Did you see how many different like gold vinyl, gold power, or gold vinyl for football cards are any type of different Buccaneers cards?
Somebody's back on there selling the Buccaneers. Dude, like the Chris Godwins and Mike Evans that kept showing up. Hey, wait, can you go back? Can you go back a page?
Yeah, we have 38 seconds left. Was there something you saw specifically?
Yeah, I forget what it was. It was right next to Billy Gilmore, I thought, or something like that. I could be wrong though.
Okay. I'll bid on this quick. And then I'll bounce back.
I feel like I saw something that was $44 that felt like.
Was it red?
I can't remember.
Okay. Let's look.
Pedri, glimpses of gold orange.
That's pretty cool.
Love that
2021.
Card.
It's 2021 though.
I know, but it's so cheap.
It is cool though. Oh man, I might have just snuck that in. Oh, sneaky. I just got that one in. You don't think Michael Pittman actually could get traded, right? Why would they trade their best young receiver?
I don't think he'll get traded, but that's part of the gamble.
Right. Honestly, I'm kind of excited about this. I know it's like nothing crazy, but Devin Vassell, he's a piece. He's a piece for the Spurs. And I know it might take him a while to get back out there, but $18 for impeccable rookie out of 60. Not mad.
Not bad.
Gotta find a couple lower dollar ones too for giveaways. Of course, I got Musiala bit out there right now. Maybe someone like Musiala. What was I?
Jake Mark won a Wisconsin rookie card of JJ. What?
Oh, was it the Prestige auto or the Upper Deck auto? The Prestige one I know was like the NFL like non-licensed one technically, but the Upper Deck one was super dope. Man,
JJ Watt, how'd he do today?
I don't know. I didn't see.
Considering second to last game.
Bro, I want this Messi match boss so badly. But on the other hand,
sack.
What?
JJ Watt got a sack.
Oh, nice. I want this Messi matchbox extremely badly, but on the other side of the coin, we have two Messi autos. And Nate, I don't know what that Wander is going to be next week, but I feel like it's better to just like save some higher dollars in case there's an opportunity for the Wander clear.
Hey, Big John says, Nate, new year, same collecting 2019 Topps Chrome Eloy Jimenez rookie PSA 10. And I'm going to echo Big John's sentiment and say new year and me still thinking that Eloy Jimenez is going to be healthy one of these years and hit 40 home runs.
Appreciate you being here, Big John. Thanks for coming every week. It does mean a lot. You hear about all those Joao Felix rumors right now? You know, with the winter window opening.
Yeah, he's gonna come to Arsenal, bro.
There's a lot. So at first it was all Chelsea this, Chelsea that, and then Chelsea was like, no, we want Enzo Fernandez. And then I've heard a lot of loans to either Man United or Arsenal. I think either one would be big for his market. Moving from Atletico Madrid, that plays like a very defensive mindset, going into like a Man U or Arsenal. Man U and Arsenal both are actually two of the hotter teams in the Premier League, or hottest, I should say. I don't know why I said hotter. And I think that he'd be an insane fit there. Like tons of talent with the kid. He just never really made a big he made a big impact, but that just hard when you don't play a big attacking style. I'm looking at this Carly. I think it's Carly Lloyd, wasn't it? Yeah. Sometimes I really like the higher grade SI for kids because honestly, like they're not easy to grade.
It's true. Aaron Jordan says, Aaron, did the boxes arrive? Question mark.
Yes, Jordan, the boxes did arrive. Dude, Jordan hooked it up this week, man. He hooked up for What's Brewing.
Hey,
He actually was the product provider for our What's Brewing show this week. 2018 Top Scrum Champions League on whatnot. There's no way I got a bid on this, man. I was very confident at that bid. I got a bid a little bit higher. Oh, I gotta say,
you really love Reece James, don't you?
Yeah, I really do.
For a team that is like currently what 14 points, 17 points behind.
We don't talk about the biggest reason why we are is because of Reece James being hurt, which is the reason why I like him so much. I'm collecting him and also just grabbing some cards here and there is because he makes such a big impact. If he can just not get hurt, he's one of the best in the world.
If he can just not get hurt, I have heard for a million different athletes over the years.
You know this AO kid for Chicago?
What?
AO Desunmu or whatever.
Oh, the basketball player. Yes.
Yeah, dude, people love him in Chicago. I know this like isn't like a crazy card, but as like $15 for the rookie 1-1 out of 99 seems like a decent buy. Maybe I'm just nuts.
Take a small gamble. See what happens.
One sold for 34, one sold for like 16 or something like that. I don't know. Might as well drop a bid. And everyone, let us know what you are buying this week. Once you buy anything, if you have any wins, please let us know. I really want this Yuri Tillemans too. He might get a move because Leicester's terrible, but they also might need him, I guess, to not get relegated. So I'm not sure. You see the Cobb auto? I mean, I'm sure you didn't see that card, but I saw this Cobb auto.
Randall Cobb auto?
Yeah, it's a rookie auto. I mean, it's not that expensive. Might as well.
Why not?
I know. Any comments?
Kevin said I'm the high bid on something.
What's that something?
I don't know. What are you stealing from him?
I don't know, man. I love this Canvas Creations auto, though. I just don't know what's going to happen with him.
Moves to a better team, probably.
I mean, it's very possible. Newcastle. Dude.
Oh, the Dousman.
Oh. Isn't it Desunmu?
Whatever. I don't know.
$81, Nate, for an optic gold rookie. We take it.
On something.
Maybe.
Pedri. Glimpses of gold orange.
That's a sick card, man.
That's a sick card.
I love what they did with that set this year. It looks a lot better.
Tell me about Pedri. Has he been doing anything in Barcelona this year? Did he do anything in the World Cup?
He played well at the World Cup. I don't think he put in many stats necessarily to say. He's got 3 goals this season. They just drew with Espanyol yesterday. I saw they just returned this past weekend. I didn't get to catch much of the La Liga, but hey, they were top of the league. They might be below Real Madrid now.
Well, who's better? Because in my head, with no knowledge whatsoever, in my head I said to myself, Pedri's better than Gavi, but now I'm not 100% sure I'm right on that.
I think it's extremely close. I think you'll find people that will say Pedri, you'll find people will say Gavi, but they're a little bit different players. I'm not one to make a definitive call. There's a lot of people who have contrasting takes. They're both super good. They're both super young.
So we should be happy with the second year insert number to 25 for under $50.
$54. It's awesome. Yo, Mbappe's up to $7,000. That thing is moving.
Ooh. That's such a sick card, though.
Chris says that Trask is a buy. Brady will lead Bucks after they're out from the playoffs.
Yeah, that is the rumor I have seen also. Brady is as good as gone.
Raiders?
That is not something I had thought about before, but that could be interesting.
I mean, it's possible, no? I mean, anything's
It's
possible, I
definitely
guess.
possible.
Yeah.
Heck, at this point, it might even be likely.
I guess
If you want to
Jets?
keep, if you want to,
Jets?
if you want to keep Devontae Adams happy, you're going to need to bring in somebody.
Yeah, no, you are definitely. What about the Jets?
Well, that could be interesting. I did see that. I also saw a rumor that the Raiders might go after Sean Payton.
I did see that too.
So Sean Payton and Tom Brady back at it, but not on the Dolphins, but on the Raiders.
Did you see the Broncos also there talking about that? But then so many people are like, that's like one of the worst jobs to take in the league. Like no draft picks, nothing to build on. You got to figure out a mess
Well,
right now.
your hope is to build Russell Wilson back up.
Yeah, and I'm gonna. I guess I don't know if I'm gonna be right or wrong, but I feel like it's possible. I think it's possible.
I also, to be fair, that rumor I saw was probably very unsubstantiated about the Raiders because who knows if they even get rid of Josh McDaniels.
That was gonna be my actual question. Was
Yeah,
don't they have a coach right now? Like they didn't fire him.
correct.
Do you think that he's under fireable causes for this season? Obviously, they didn't go as they wish, but they look better with Jared Stidham. So why not? Why
Yeah,
would you look better with Tom Brady?
I think he probably did just save his job today.
Yeah. Also, saving jobs, Joe Barry.
Dude, that defense looked nice today.
I mean, if they finish off the season playing like this, I find it hard to believe that they'd fire a guy that like basically had a top 10 defense for half the season when the players are healthy, you know? Because like Campbell was hurt. I'm sure that a couple other guys were hurt that I just didn't keep track of because I didn't pay attention enough. But they're playing really well right now.
Craig Owen says, anyone on Jazz? We just had a post on Jazz on Instagram, Craig, and there was a ton of people, a shocking amount of people that were loving up Jazz as opposed to the counter argument O'Neal Cruz. But a ton of people, way more people than I expected, chose Jazz over O'Neal Cruz. So I don't think you're alone, Craig. There's a lot of people that like him. I like him too, and I should really be buying Topps Chrome Autos at $30 for him because that's dirt cheap.
I mean, with that potential,
yeah,
dude, you're gonna have to really try restrain me right now, Nate. This card right now, 1350, seems really nice, but I think that I'm just gonna have to restrain myself without you having to restrain me.
Restrain. We already have two Messis.
I know. I have willpower. I think Draw Felix might be ours unless someone comes in and bids. Pretty excited about that. Really want that Pete Sampras, but get outbid. Have to consider. Okay, but
and Tom, you are correct. The theory, the rumor is that Sean Payton is going to have to be traded for, but I've also seen that maybe the Saints will, because the Saints still own him technically under contract
because he retired, but they still like his contract years are still running.
Yeah, so
weird.
They could trade him, but there's also a theory that they might say, "Thank you for all your service you did to our team. You can go wherever you want," without getting traded.
Yeah. That's so odd though. Like how many years is the contract for? Another year or two?
I have no idea. I haven't looked that deep into it. You wanted João Felix? Oh, you won that.
Yeah, we did. That's pretty good. I remember there's a day those things were going for like $2,500 or something. Sheesh. Happy with that. 323 was the last sale on this Sampras on April 20th, 2022. So this is already like over that. As cool as it is, it might be dumb to skip on it, but we did just win the Felix at the same time. 2023 is Aaron not just tossing bids on everything that has an autograph. That's what 2023 is.
Proud of you.
Speaking of autographs, Nate, you remember when Greg Bird was like insanely hyped?
Like every Yankees prospect to ever exist that has a decent year, they get overhyped.
Most expensive Greg Bird auto to sell, and this is back in 2017 prior to the car market exploding, was an orange for $1,400. This red is at $27.
Well, hopefully the person that bought that orange sees this, they can continue the rainbow.
True. Maybe they can build it for a lot cheaper now. All right. I'm going to show restrain. I'm going to pass on the Reece James just because I would rather save the money for a different Reece James card I'm really looking for. If anyone knows where a Cracked Dice 2019 ticket is, you know who to call. I haven't seen one of those in forever.
All right, Chris says, Nate, how many rookies does Julio have so far? 50, 100? What do you consider his best rookie or to be his rookie update Chrome? And that's a good question because, yeah, he has a lot, and they have released a ton of random top sets on tops.com, whether it be the logo refractor or, Sapphire to the Rookie of the Year set that they just put out to Bobby Witt set and everything in between. There's so many sets, and there's going to be so many Julio rookies. It will be interesting to see what shakes out. I do expect his Topps Chrome Refractor to be a premium card for a very long time, but he doesn't have any color there, right? So then it would probably have to be Topps Chrome Update, and then Topps Update as well.
You say Topps Chrome Update over Topps Chrome normal?
Well, his Topps Chrome is only the refractor card you could get from Silver Packs.
Oh, right. Or some of the random colors.
I have not ever seen a color from him. I've seen color from Bobby Witt.
Wait, there's no
out of
colors
those Silver Packs, but I haven't seen Julio. So unless I'm just not looking up the right things and I've missed it completely for months, I don't believe there's color for those Topps Chrome Julios.
Oh, wow.
And again, I could be wrong and have just missed it completely.
Right. Potentially. Excuse me. So for the giveaways tonight, I was just checking on what we won. We'll do 2 tonight. We'll do one from the ones that we won tonight, and then one from the vault that we currently won a couple weeks ago that I just had a bunch of our cards and gave one away for a guess the price. But we've got the Theo Maladin Blue Shimmer Auto at 15 BGS 9. We'll give away that one, and then I think it's probably gonna either be one of the 2 basketball or the Ronaldo. Maybe we can do a poll quick. Let me fire up the poll quick. Would you rather win if you were able to win in tonight's giveaways? I guess we should just pick one so I don't have to then do another poll from there. Nate, which one would you rather keep? How about that? I don't know. They're both cool.
Which one would I rather?
Or which one would you? How about this? Which one do you think people would rather like? Let's go with that.
I think they'd probably rather have the AO.
AO 1-1. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. Would you rather win the AO of 99 rookie or the Ronaldo? That was like a 2011 PSA 9 for Mundi Chromo. It's his top 7 on. It's like a kind of smaller card than normal. Voting is open. Feel free to drop some votes, and we'll leave that open for a bit, and then there'll be 2 winners tonight. Honestly, like, I'm not surprised. I think a lot of the time, we see prices from earlier in the year, and the expectation is automatically they'll sell lower.
Hey, is this your favorites or is this every card?
This is actually going to every card, right?
Yeah, just making sure that we're not missing it because it said 28 cards left. And I was just making sure that wasn't the. I guess that'd be impossible to beat the whole auction because it's only 745.
Yeah, no, there's still a lot of cards left. What I was saying was, it kind of feels like that it has become the expectation in some instances, not every instance, that like a card that sold earlier in the year that you can just directly see a last sale on, like a 1-of-1, where we've covered that in the past, where cards get re-auctioned, that they'll sell lower the second time. But this is not the case. This Mbappe, the next bid sends this thing to $8,700 on this 1-of-1 super fractor. Now, for good reason.
I'd hope it wouldn't be the case for Mbappe after what he just did.
I totally would hope the case too. But you know what I'm saying, right? Like we've done live streams on so many 1-of-1s that pop back up for sale, and this I think would be a good idea here. So Magic asks, which player did Chelsea just pick up? Magic, my question back to you is which one? We signed like 4 people already, and the window just opened. Signed a Brazilian midfielder, Coast of, I don't even know what you call them, but Coast of Ivory, I guess would be the country name. Coast of Ivory striker who plays in the Norwegian league, and his name's Fafana. We got the center back from Monaco. His name's like Benoit, I think. He's pretty good. I think he's pretty dang good. And then we are chasing Enzo Fernandez right now. So we didn't get Enzo Fernandez yet.
Imagine just throwing money at all of your problems, hoping it works for like the 10th time in a row.
See, but here's the deal. I don't think that that's what these first three signings were. I think throwing the money at Enzo Fernandez is possibly like I hope this fixes a lot of our issues this year, but also the nice thing about that is that there's like a very big long-term play with that. But the other signings were all between like 8 million to 25 to 30 million dollars. And it's all like 18 to 20-year-olds that have got immense talent. That is a lot better to me than dropping like 70 million on Raheem Sterling. Like that was the throw the money at some random guy as his deadline's ending. Not random guy. Sorry, Raheem Sterling's not random, but he definitely has not been that good.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy with us going after the younger, because that's what Arsenal did. Arsenal kept on signing 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old guys that weren't going to take him there right away. And it might have to be a couple of years of stink like Arsenal's had experience. Luckily, Nate skipped on that.
The moment I became a fan, Arsenal stopped losing. In fact, I think I could count on one hand the amount of losses Arsenal has since I became a fan.
A fan.
Though, to be fair, I did watch.
I was just going to say, didn't you
Saturday.
watch?
I did, and it was very enjoyable. I think watching the World Cup really helps me actually want to tune into some Arsenal games.
And do you know what the funny thing is I think that did that for a lot of people. I don't know if that's funny, but I think it did for a lot of people. You watch that, great games, you start to learn a little bit more. People talk about it a little bit more in a broader aspect. Then, like, I was so excited for the club season to return after the World Cup. I mean, super excited. I'm glad that you were able to tune in. I mean, that's a great game to watch. I watched until it was 3-0.
I got a little nervous there at the end. Not gonna lie.
But
I understand the tactics. You stop pressing the ball down the field because you have a big 3-goal lead, and you're just going to sit back and make them work for it.
Right. Exactly. Nick Fuller says, should I throw away my Mason Greenwoods? Let's just say that you could probably get a few dollars for them, but at this point, there's not much hope there. Which is very sad. I mean, he is an idiot. He did it to himself. Not a good human being. His talent was immense. We're talking like one of the best young footballers in the world. He was so good for United when they were second in the league, and he was 19, 18 years old. Threw it all away. It's just ridiculous.
Just a moron.
Jerry might have been responding to the Greenwood stuff. I sold all my stuff the day after the news and took a major hit, but yeah, it's all done. And also Ronaldo is going to be the second card being given away tonight. Hey, Luis Patino, is he making it in the majors, not making the majors? What's the read?
Okay, so he's on the Rays. He got traded, right, in that deal for Blake Snell, if I am remembering correctly, and I could be remembering incorrectly. But I did not see his stats last year. Looking him up real quick, 8.10 ERA in 20 innings. That's what we got going on there. Minor league stats last year. A 4.50 ERA in 34 innings in AAA. So he only threw 54 innings. That's not exactly promising at all. So we'll see. I have confidence in the Rays being able to figure out any pitcher, so it's not like his career is done or anything by any stretch of the imagination. But that is a disappointing year.
Speaking of disappointing, Brewers spending this offseason $0. The only team that I've spent a single dollar this entire offseason. Nate, what is with this, man? What is with this?
You know all those good feelings I got from getting William Contreras for free, basically?
Yeah. Did they say that their work here was done, or what was that?
I have the opposite of those feelings for the amount of dollars the Brewers have spent. At the very least, you could have grabbed me like some interesting reliever, and spent like $7 million. And at least I would have been like, okay, well, we secured catching. We secured a bullpen a little bit. Pitching comes back healthy, and we've got a lot of prospects for the other holes. But to not even do that.
So are we basically saying that we're happy with what we have, or are we saying that we don't care enough to spend?
I mean, I can't tell you that. What I can tell you is it seems like they spent $137 million last year, which is a career a high for the Brewers, and they probably didn't want to do that again. So they're cutting back.
Yeah, coming back to zero.
No, I mean, it's not zero. I think we're still projected to be 120 million, something like that.
Oh, I'm saying you're saying the payroll.
Payroll, yeah.
I was gonna say, I remember signing $137 million of the players last year.
No, that didn't happen.
I was gonna say that. I'm like, yeah, that is some record for the Brewers signing like the Mets now. Um, Chris says Burns in 2023, 5-20 record with a 2.2 ERA and the worst run support in the league.
To be fair, people like to think that the Brewers had a terrible offense last year. We were third or fourth in home runs and like a top 10 ranked offense across the league. The difference between last year's and this year's is you got rid of Hunter Renfroe, but you're hoping that Jesse Winker bounces back. And if Jesse Winker bounces back, he's significantly better than Renfroe. You lose Colton Wong, but you're hoping that uh, William Contreras is way better than the catching that you had. So that replaces Colton Wong. And then Bryce Terang's defense should be amazing at second. And the outfield really isn't going to change at all. If Winker does what he can. I don't think that the offense will be much different from last year, in which they were a above average offense across the board. So,
Nate, first of all, what's up, Peg Junk? Good to see you. Bazooka Tom says, what's the deal with Correa? So I know we've covered this a few different times now throughout Instagram posts and newsletters. Correa's market's changed a lot in the last 2 months because of two contracts that were said to be there, and now is it still in limbo? The Mets one,
from what I know, it still hasn't been signed. So,
and we heard that it was the same issue. I know that the Giants brought up that the Mets are now bringing up.
I also heard that issue is something they're concerned about in the back half of the contract. Don't know if that's true
because they think it's going to get worse. You're saying as time goes on,
yeah, as it gets older.
Interesting. Is that like an elbow issue for a shortstop, or is it more of like something with the legs?
I don't know what it's about. But I do think that Correa, if he really wanted to, I bet he could sign 1 year $55 million deals with the Mets going forward and make a ton of money. But obviously there's risk. You have a bad year, your market crashes.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is that I thought that this past season with the Twins was supposed to be that, where he signs the deal and then he gets the big deal after the Twins deal because the market wasn't there. Wait, why wasn't the market there with him last year? Because people already spent, or what?
And he did get he got 1 year $35 million, and then he did get the big deal twice over.
No. So I agree that he did, but my question is, why wasn't it there last year? Why did he have to do like?
That's asking me to remember too far back for why.
I guess.
I mean, there was a qualifying offer attached, for one. And no qualifying offer attached this year, so nobody's losing draft picks to sign him. But I can't remember.
How does the qualifying offer? Why was that attached to him?
When you hit free agency for the first time, a team can offer you qualifying offer. It's usually 18, 19, $20 million, whatever it is. This year, I don't know, maybe 19.7 or something. They offer you a qualifying offer. You can take a 1 year deal and then become a unrestricted free agent next year, or you can decline it and you're technically like a restricted free agent, but not in football and basketball terms, where restricted free agents can then have their contract matched by the team. But instead, if another team signs them, you are compensated with draft picks, and teams don't like to give up their draft picks to sign free agents generally.
Right. Interesting. GSR Fodo says, you also have a Pat Listash cards. I had to look up who Pat Listash is. I guess former shortstop. I see him pictured in a Brewers jersey there. Was he on the 82 team? No, he wasn't. He wasn't that old. He played with the Brewers from 92 and 97. I literally, he stopped playing the year before I was born. I actually don't even think I've ever heard of this guy in my life. Do you know who Pat Listash was? And also, have you ever had any cards of him? Because I sure haven't.
Have I had Pat Listash cards? Yes, likely. I mean, I've had everyone from Don Money to Ray King for Brewers cards. You probably haven't heard of either of those.
I've heard Don Money. Come on.
Okay.
That's because my dad.
But I do not know if I've had a Pat Listash card. But with how many '90s cards I've had in my life of baseball, I guarantee you there's one in there sitting at my parents' house.
Yeah.
Not for big money though, that's for sure.
Definitely. Egdon says his ankle's out of alignment, which makes his calf out of alignment, which affects the knee and in turn affects the lower back. So literally, he's very jacked up, is what I'm
Ooh.
hearing. And did he injure this like towards the end of the season with the Twins? Like, did he miss the last part of the season, or was this just like a long term issue he's been dealing with? He played 136 games last year.
Yeah, I can't answer that. I'm sure that's where it's like maybe as he's young he can deal with it, but as he gets older, those nagging things. Tough to say. Hey, Real Music says, you guys ever been to the Burbank Sports Cards show? Or sports haven't been to Burbank Sports Cards the shop, but I am going to the Burbank Sports Cards show in LA February 9th through the 11th. Well, technically like February 10th, but you get my point.
Nate is going indeed to the Burbank show. I've never been there. I most likely will not be there because I think that there's a really cool event happening in Milwaukee for cards, which I'll hopefully be sharing more information soon on. But I'm very excited for Nate to go. I heard that last year that was one of the best shows of the entire year. We were not able to make it there last year, but I'm sure Nate's gonna have a fun time this year, and he is gonna be on the hunt for some raw cards. I know that's Nate's favorite thing to do.
It is my favorite thing in the entire world.
Excited for that. Jordan, are you gonna be at the Burbank show? Looks like Real Music will be. Will anyone else
Real
be at the
Music
Burbank?
and Jordan? Let's go.
Will anyone else in this chat be at the Burbank show in February? Because that would be a great time to link up with Nate and talk some baseball, some sports, or some SlabStox Sundays too. By that point, maybe we'll have that wander clear.
I like it.
The best show besides the National in 2020. That's great to hear. That's great to hear, Jordan. Yeah, Nate. I'm sure the shop is close. I haven't looked on a map, but like I hear it's one of the best shops in the world. I think that on the sign when it walks in, it says something like the Disney World of Sports Cards or something like that. So it said something like that. Lucas will be there. It's like Disneyland, says Real Music. They've got like millions of cards in that warehouse. I've seen that.
Ooh, Jordan's got is set up as a dealer. Nice.
There you go. Do you see this beef stew card any night?
I did. That's so expensive, but he's also their starting center. So
yeah, Logo Man, 1 of 1 RPA, PSA 8. This does just go to show how much money high-end basketball cards can come in.
I just read the other day that with Cade out, he's been like their de facto leader for the Pistons this year, which is pretty cool because he's what, 23?
Oh yeah, he's young. He is young. He's 21.
21. Oh,
he's averaging 12, 8, and I'm surprised he's not even averaging a block a game. Not I don't know enough about him to say if he had a defensive presence or not. He's always a 6'8" forward or center, so doesn't have a whole lot of height.
You know what his nickname is?
Beef Stew. That's what I said.
Okay, good. Just making sure.
Just double checking. Still 193. Excuse me, cards left here.
Wow.
Although we just hit the 10 o'clock hour.
So that will drop pretty quick.
Yeah, I gotta say, definitely don't have the funds to spend on this right now.
Sick
and yeah, it is sick. I gotta say, I mean, a Brazil gold 2014. In 2014, they matched these kind of design aspects around the cards, like the corners with the team colors. So this is about as true of a color match as you can possibly get on a card. And it's gold out of 10 from Prism. It's a massive card. And if he can, one day bring a World Cup in his last showing, I hope in 2026 he plays to Brazil, along with all those players that will be in their primes. I mean, Brazil has to be the favorites for 2026 in my mind. All those players are older come the next World Cup, which is a good thing for them. Bad thing for Belgium. It'd be interesting to see what they do. I think Neymar's still a top player. He's playing unbelievably well this year. Just got to stay healthy. Next big Vegas show, I think the Main Collective in March. I think they're doing the show for the second half of that week. That would, I think, be the next big show in Vegas. This Austin Matthews is sick. He is not having a great season for anyone that's been following hockey. I actually wrote about him the other day, and I think so last year he was averaging like 0.9 goals a game. He had 60 goals last season. First American-born player to have 60 goals in a season. This year, I think he's averaging 0.5 goals a game. So in the same season, if he plays the same amount of games this year as last year, he'll have scored like 25 less goals, which is that's a huge, huge difference. And also, Jordan, I have to agree with you. Now, I don't think it's going to end at this exact dollar amount this is the type of card when you see it pop up. If you have the right buyers, the bidding war goes quite far. But you're right. Even the fact it's sitting right now at the box price of a hobby box is crazy. It's definitely crazy. If I had the funds, I'd be all over it. Who's the NFL Rookie of the Year for you? So I think that the talk of the town is like Kenneth Walker. But Brock Purdy has obviously been amazing the last like 3-4 weeks. But you can't really give a season.
There's no way he can win the.
Yeah. You can't give a season award to a guy who's played like 30% of the games or less. You think Kenneth Walker?
I don't know enough to. I don't know.
I mean,
enough to speak on it.
Well, let me say this. Rookie running back, if he plays next week and has 74 yards or 64 yards, he'll have over 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns, almost 5 yards of carry as a rookie. It's pretty dang good. And there's no standout quarterbacks. Sauce Gardner, defensive option for the Jets, possibly. Oh, also, Jordan, I saw earlier you commented that you won the SP of Max Verstappen, the gold at 50. I think that was a
101 Pad Perdasha.
He didn't win the 101 Pad Perdasha. This one's just the Grand Prix. I'm not the biggest fan of this. I really like what he won earlier, though. The variation SP gold at 50. I think it's a great buy. Gonna get it graded. I think it'll be a pretty good idea. I was looking at the condition report and the video of it.
Fake F1 fan, a real F1 fan would love any Pad Perdasha that showed up.
Okay. Yep. You got me. I'm a Pad Perdasha hater.
Hey, that Luca's still going.
It is. That was first name started with a D, right? I can't remember at this point. Is he still in the house? Whoever owns the Luca Black one of them, if you're still in the house, give us a holler because your Luca is over 1,500 right now with buyer's premium. You love to see
Damon.
it. Damon
Sazgar.
Did you just remember that?
I have an innate ability to remember things.
Get out of here. He did just comment. Yep, he is still here. How you feeling right now? Just got our bid too. It's well over 1,500 after buyer's premium now. That is awesome. Nate, do you remember the live stream when we talked about this card for a bit of time?
Oh, wait, this rings a bell.
Yeah, so we were talking about
the prestige like case hit or something like that.
Yeah, we were talking about like early 2010 cards that were like case hits, but not many people know about them and stuff. And one of these sold for like $500 raw or something like that. Well, here one is PSA 8. I gotta say, it's a sick card. Playmakers LeBron.
It's a very cool card.
Damon says, chilling, enjoying the talk. This man is so chill. I asked how he's feeling with the $1,500 card selling. He says, chilling and enjoying the talk. I love it. Thanks, Damon.
I wish I could also chill and enjoy the talk while selling a $1,500 card, but instead, I'm just chilling and enjoying the talk without selling a $1,500 card.
Jordan says, Aaron, do you see the 71 crack Pele PSA 4? I won that as well. I did not see it. Should I go find it? I maybe should. Jason, thank you.
Make sure you don't miss the 24 card mark.
Yeah. I've missed that way too many times recently, have I not?
I mean, it's been once or twice.
Once too many. It's at 33 right now, so I'm just gonna check out that Pele that Jordan's talking about, and then we'll pop back. So this will be produced the year after he won the World Cup in 1970. This is so interesting when they've got these coins, man. I know nothing, or like coin type of cards, not actually a coin. Know nothing about these or how they released or anything like that, but they're definitely different. They're definitely intriguing. And this is a pop one, none graded higher. Jordan, this is me just being curious. Like when you saw this, what drew you to actually purchasing it? And this, I'm not like questioning you. I'm legit just wondering as a modern collector, I want to learn. Was there something about it that made you be like, yeah, I need to add that one because there's so few graded? That's, the highest graded version. I'm just curious. Just want to learn. Jason, I hope you are enjoying collecting soccer cards with your son. I remember you brought that up last time, and thank you so much for being on the show this weekend. There you go, Magic. You still won the Jefferson from the submission that you did with us, the field level silver SGC 10, I assume. I hope that you sold before today. There's for sure. We got a pick. Oh, wait, no, not yet. Go ahead. Sorry.
Real quick to Chris, he said, Nate not liking my hot takes. To be fair, Chris has had some hot takes tonight. That being said, Chris, I shout you out in tomorrow's daily slab. So there's compensation for you for me not loving your hot takes tonight.
Touchdown Steelers, says Gabriel. Jordan, just visually, I like how it looks. A PSA 1.5 sold for 9/16 September, so it seemed like a good value too. Well, there you go, Jordan. I appreciate you sharing that with us. And Damon is looking for a little bit more thoughts from Nate from Jackson Chura. Maybe just trying to get you going again, but give me the 10-second rundown because you answered it earlier.
Ton of talent, ton of tools. Double A as an 18-year-old, if he hit to him.
There you go. We got to pick something that's green, Nate. We are under 24, so once you find something you like, I'm going to give you the ability to pick something that's green. Same with me because we're at 40 seconds in.
Nothing's green.
Yeah, a couple are up here.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go with that stupid Bryce Harper card. Whatever that is. JUCO World Series.
Black Label 2011 U.S. Bank card. That's
yeah,
awesome.
We're going with that. Not that it's stupid, like I hate it, but I've just never seen anything like that in my entire life.
I get what you're saying when you meant stupid. I'm gonna go with this. Man, they make some really interesting, random older soccer cards. 97 Ronaldo Nazario, Panini Calciatore, PS9. Pop one ungrade higher. You know how those soccer ones do when they're pop one ungrade higher. We got 22.
While we're waiting, Chris says, are there too many 101s on the market? Seems like someone is pulling a 101 every 2 days. And there's a lot of random, especially Panini. Panini's really at fault here. And Topps to some extent with all the extra sets they've been putting out. I think, like, for me personally, I was just looking at a 101 of a Brewers prospect the other day from Bowman Chrome. Like, I'm still very comfortable buying a Bowman. I didn't get it. It sold before I could put in an offer. But I'm very comfortable buying like Bowman Chrome 101, Topps Chrome 101. But once you start getting into these random Bobby Witt Jr. top set 101s or Spectra Asia, because the Luca selling, like, cool card, would love to pull it and sell it, but it's not my cup of tea for buying. So I definitely agree that there is a lot of 101s out there. A lot of them ain't for me.
Oh, no. Nate's card got a bid. You cannot tell me we're going to start off 2023 with Nate winning a guess the final card.
We could.
I mean, I'm not starting off 2023 by winning it. That's for sure. So
we could. Real Music says, Nate, what's up with the 18-year-old from the Yankees from the Dominican Republic was watching Breaker was going crazy over him. Roderick Arias is who he's referring to, and he was the number one international prospect. He plays shortstop. He had a terrible year in the Dominican Summer League, so we'll see what he does this year. But for the prices that are being spent on him, it's insanely risky, and I also am not about that either. Ooh, Aaron, I'm moving on again.
Oh, no. I was going to pick the LeBron playmakers also, and I didn't because I was like, PS 8. Maybe people don't want an 8, but nope, it got me. Had some really nice raw sales tonight, like Lukaku gold for 27, Seller Net, Sergio Ramos orange carbon fiber for 26. Like, I just like buying all these random, I say, but just different good player colors. Threw them up on the NBA Authentic raw card auction, and a lot of them did pretty well. It's good to see. $10. Some of them got $25. The best one that sold. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go. I have a question for you, but you go.
I was just gonna say, best one sold was a Messi gold out of 50 from 2021 finals for 114 Seller Net. What's up?
I have a question for you. How much weight is this Bryce Harper being a one of one doing, and how much weight do you think is being pulled by it being a black label?
Oh wait, I didn't even see it was a one of one, but like, come on, like, okay. First of all, I don't even know if this thing was manufactured or handed out at a stadium. So, well, okay, obviously it's manufactured. This thing didn't just appear out of thin air. I'm saying like released by like
also, I don't think I'm moving on, dude.
I don't think so either. And I literally could not tell you what was helping that card.
Oh wow, everything else moved on but me.
No, there's 3 it sold at the bottom, but yeah, you're out.
Ugh, stink.
We had some questions here. One I saw asked a couple times. Damon says, "How about Aaron Neesmith on B-ball tip after the dunk and in general Pacers upswing?" First of all, I freaking love Tyrese Haliburton, man. That guy's on my fantasy team. He's awesome. I got cut off earlier. I won my fantasy football league this year. 12 teams. I drafted I drafted Diggs and Adams. I had like pick number 11 and 13 or whatever, 14. won it with those two guys and Josh Allen. After Diggs and Allen scored 5 points each in the semifinals. Don't even know how I did it, but I did. So that feels good.
Fake league though. I wasn't in it.
Real league.
You haven't won any leagues that I've been in years.
Okay, that's fine. But you also haven't played in years. So, Damon, back to your question about Aaron Neesmith. I've not been following the stats, so I don't want to try and make a prediction on this. But I did see the dunk you're referring to. That was nasty, man. The guy looked like he literally just like climbed a ladder that wasn't there and threw it down. I don't know if you saw Aaron Neesmith's dunk the other day, Nate, but it was nice.
I did not.
It was very nice.
But I have seen what is it? Andrew Nemhard. He was the last pick in the first round, and Ben Mathurin.
Dude, they got some guys
really together. Yeah,
they got some guys.
But it all revolves around Tyrese in the middle, dude. 20 and 10, shooting 40% from three. Come on.
I
20
never
and 10
thought,
with that 10 being assists, not rebounds.
Yeah, I gotta say, Nate, I never really thought that his like 3-point shooting was going to progress well in the NBA. I'm a big like form guy. Like if you got a form that looks a little off to me, I instantly think it's going to not work out in the long term. But I mean, he's hitting his shots. His form is a little wacky to me. But if you're making your shots at 40% clip on like 7.5 a game, I'm not going to argue with how you're shooting. So,
yep.
I just opened up the giveaway. Asian Punk, appreciate you at 100 watching. If you likes, hit the like button. Thank you so much. If you do hit the like button, it does help our videos get out there a lot more, get more people enjoying sports cards. Maybe finding different things to buy here on the PWCC weekly auction, and in general building the community, and that's what it's all about. And please hit that subscribe button too if you're new here, so you don't miss next week's episode. Sundays 9:45 p.m. Eastern time we start, as you can see on the screen right now. And to think that I was saying, Pat Bradashly Grand Prix, not the best. Big slap in the face here right now, Nate. Could have picked him, been in the top two.
Yeah,
could have done it.
This is embarrassing for you.
It is
starting off 2023 on the wrong foot.
Oh man. Does that mean I'm not going to win it ever again? Maybe.
It's potential.
We're going to leave this open for two minutes every until 10:15 p.m. Central Time. So please make sure you throw in those number ones. Good to see so many of you all joining us back here in 2023 for SlabStox Sundays. Means a ton. Chris, I feel like this is Nate energy on a daily slabs. Subscribe. I love it. Thank you, Chris.
Maybe I should scream it at the people.
You could be like the guy, like the Shamwell guy, or something. Just start screaming the high energy.
Get like a voice distorter, so it's like really low and terrifying. Subscribe.
I think would just scare people away. I'm gonna check it out here really quick. Oh, so that Max actually sold. I would not have won. It is a Pokemon card that gets.
That was the cheapest card.
Yeah, sometimes you do that and you just pick the cheapest.
Dude, why did I veer off the start of 2023? What an idiot. I'm a moron.
We also got the Randall Cobb rookie auto on card. You'll love to see it. I'm 99, 28 out of 99.
Hey,
AJ Dillon, jersey number 1 of 1 trifecta. What do you say?
That reminds me of the Randall Cobb. I just pulled this out the other day. The Randall Cobb that Kentucky basketball cards gifted me, Jimmy.
I love that.
101.
Awesome.
101 from Score.
Very cool. So first place, I think we're gonna have first place actually win the Ronaldo just because you can see it right now tonight, and then last place is gonna get the Theo Maladin from the random.org. So we are at 10:15 p.m. Central Time. So I'm gonna compile these names here, and we will have 2 winners to start the year off. Hope everyone had a very safe evening last night. Enjoyed bringing the new year, and I'm very excited for more cards in 2023. Been doing it for well over half my life, and no point in stopping now. Also, I was so thrilled, Nate. I think you saw. Do you see the Pierre Gasly I got? I know I showed it on the live stream a few weeks ago, but it actually came in hand.
I did not see it.
I'm gonna have to send you a picture. I did make a post on it, but the patch is so sick. It's like the one with like the globe, the globe with the protons and neutrons or whatever flying around it.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Oh, it's so cool. It just got me so jazzed up for more cards in 2023.
Hey, shout out Tom. He says, just got my first Tony Hawk auto. Pretty happy. That's awesome.
Tony Hawk auto? That is.
Who doesn't love Tony Hawk?
Yeah, man, that's awesome.
And Real Music says, Nate, where's the Tatis bat? The Tatis bat was prepped and ready to go up on the wall, and then he got suspended, and it never made it up on the wall.
But if he comes back and starts playing well, maybe it does make it up on the wall.
Yeah. Right now, it's just being used as home defense. Just kidding.
All right. 3 times on the randomization. Good luck, everyone. First place gets the Ronaldo PSA 9, I think it was, and then the Maladin goes to last place. 48 people in here. Peg Junk on top to start. Second, and now I will pause. Nate, I'm going to go with Merrick's Grave. I'm feeling it. I don't know why. 16.
Didn't Merrick just win the other day?
I don't care. He's going to win again.
All right. I am going to go with In Memory of Tomorrow. 34.
34 in memory of tomorrow. Good luck, everyone. Don't forget. Oh, Peg Junk went from first to last. That's crazy. But number 1 gets the Ronaldo, and number 40 gets the Maladin. Good luck. Oh, I saw the Embro. I thought I won. But Jake Merck gets number 1. Congratulations. And Sweet Ma gets the Maladin at number 40. Merrick's Grave was 29. And where was Nate's pick?
37. I think it started at 37, the one before, and ended at 37. Or maybe it was 34 and 37. I don't remember which.
Interesting. Well, I appreciate everyone for being here tonight, joining, watching, discussing. Remember, every single Sunday, 9:45 p.m. Eastern time, we will be here doing this. So we, invite you all to join us. It's always a fun time. Got some cool wins tonight, too. Some nice rare soccer ones at Randall Cobb Auto. A couple of raw basketball. But if you did win, please email us info@slabstox.com. Just go to your account in the top right corner, my PWCC. Click the preferences, copy the identity key, and send that along to us. It's like 200 characters long. So just copy, paste, email info@slabstox.com. Anything else, Nate, tonight? I'm so happy with that Packers win, by the way. Chelsea really ruined ruined the morning of the start of 2023 for me. We had the win in hand and blew it once again. But the Packers, man, that made up for it, man. I'm so excited. I cannot wait for next week, Sunday. Hopefully we can make the playoffs.
I agree. I'm pumped. Also, you want to answer this question from Chris real quick?
Nate, when will the Merlin box be held? Held or more like given away?
Given away, I assume is what he's talking about.
All right. So great thing. So anyone that watched the top 5 videos from last week that Nate was doing on the Daily Slab to end 2022, if you commented on any of those videos, you got an entry spot in a big giveaway we're doing for a Merlin Hobby Box, a Topps backpack, and some extra goodies. We will be randomizing the winner for that tomorrow night on SlabStox Live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time for anyone that commented on the videos from last week. Nate also will be announcing that in the morning's Daily Slab if anyone is going to watch that. And we will also be reposting the snippet of that giveaway that we do in the live stream in Tuesday morning's Daily Slab, so plenty of people will see who wins that. Good luck to everyone also. Thanks for joining that. A lot of people came on and commented, so it was really cool to see. Yep. Nate's building a pretty sweet community. Also, by the way, in the Daily Slab every morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, they go live on YouTube and podcast. So feel free to check those out. Tons of sports card info I think you all probably want to learn about. So that's all we got. 2023 is here. I'm pumped. Thanks, everyone, for coming. Go Packers. Hopefully we can make the playoffs next week. I guess by next week, this Sunday, we'll know if we do or not.
Will either be, well, tough to say because it might be on. They might flex the Packer-Lions game to the last game of the night.
You're right. At the TBD. Honestly, we might find out as we're sitting here. We're going to be watching it, doing the live, seeing us devastate at the same time.
Yeah. It will either be really, really happy or really, really sad. And there's
so you heard Nate. Come back next week to see if we'll be happy or sad. It will be exciting to see nonetheless. And appreciate y'all. And we'll see y'all tomorrow night for SlabStox Live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time.
See you, everyone.